All right, all right. Check one, check two. This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour with your host, me, Rob Cantrell. Oh man, we're back and we're doing it. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I'm excited about this episode. We got a solo episode. We're hitting it on Friday. Going into the weekend. And I know I mean, I usually try to get it up on Thursday and knock it out and get a guest. But how's the week has been going? You know, I've been listening to the podcast. I love all my guests, but I also think there's quality in the sound control of a solo podcast, or I gotta get better at interviewing. I think I step over people a little bit. I think the instinct of a stand-up comedian, and that's the thing with podcasts, is like, I want to go. And I like go-go. I like DC go-go music. But, and I like to run my mouth. I can run it, but I also like to be quiet. But I can't be quiet on this podcast. We got to go. This is the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I got to talk for, I don't even want to think about it. It's like, I'm just enjoying a nice cup of coffee with some friends. I got some new Patreon. I got another Patreon. Support the Patreon. You can see the video. Look at this quality. It's a TV screen, man. It's better than TV. This is Rob TV. Yes, the Patreon is the way you can see the full video. Actually see my flesh and t-shirt and stubble and firing up glass. This is finely ground cannabis. A good friend, a connoisseur, dropped off a gift, and some great ground cannabis. I got my Marley one hitter. It's got a wooden tip. That's what I love about it. And then it's a glass. This is probably my favorite. The only thing about getting in love with the paraphernalia or your piece or you always break them. These things break too. So I don't know. You keep it moving. I mean, ideally, I would love an Amsterdam coffee situation. I think that's where America needs to go, is really look at Amsterdam, and study it, because they really had it down to a science. And that's what we're doing today. I got some iced coffee here. Look at that home brew straight from the French press. This is Infinity coffee beans. I got this from my grocery store. And this one, I've been eyeing them, because sometimes those bigger, I mean, it's the whole bean, but it's not like the she $16 bag, $20 bag. It's more, it was $9.99 for 16 ounces. And usually those $16 bags are for a whole pound, which is 20 ounces. I think I'm getting that right. I never really slang herbs, so I never really got all the waste systems down, the grams and all that. I just like a spliff now and then. And that's where I would like, that's where I think the future is going. It's already there. Colorado is wide open. New York is wide open. People on the street, it's not a big deal. And I feel the dispensaries are right around the corner. There's some official, but I got to get a read on it. I know it's still like super government lockdown on it, but eventually it'll open up because of the economy. That's what I think. That's what I was thinking about. So onward and upward, everybody. So I made this cold brew Infinity coffee beans. It was their breakfast blend. I like the syrupy black beans, but I like more of the dry Costa Rican. I think that's what I'm getting, is where I just like more of the dry mid-range brown instead of the really dark like French roast. But I don't mind a good French roast. The thing about coffee is kind of like pizza now for me. Like I'll eat most pizza. Same thing with tacos. I'll eat most tacos. I made I had taco night, but then I made some black beans and some brown rice, some bomb ass black beans and brown rice, and I spiced it up. And so I do that in a big Tupperware. And then I had the leftover chicken from taco night. So I just mixed that all up. And now I got a big Tupperware, and I could just boom, knock out tacos like bip, bip, bip. And I also been pickling onions. Like, what you know about that? I got a jar of pickled onions. So this afternoon, and I got a bunch of cilantro. Like, the thing about cilantro, if it's fresh, I love that smell of the cilantro when you cut it, like cha 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 cha, and you just like yeah, that's so. I think I'm hungry. I ate like 3 granola bars before this podcast. I had my smoothie, my banana peanut butter shake with the collagen powder, and I ran out of turmeric, but I hit it with some cinnamon, and it was definitely rocking. But then right before the podcast, I had do a bunch of shit, and but I didn't want to go mad tacos before the podcast. I wanted to reward myself with some tacos after the podcast. And so I just downed like 3. I had a big jar of peanut butter, and I just ate these like from Trader Joe's, like these granola bars with chocolate chips in them. And then I put some banana on it again. I mean, banana, granola, peanut butter, honey. I don't know what all that stuff is, but I run like my body is pretty much 65% granola, peanut butter, bananas, and honey. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I got a couple projects moving on. I got a date up there. Hey, everybody, I'm coming to, as of now, I'm coming to Roanoke, Virginia. I'm coming back to kind of like where I grew up, hour away from Buena Vista, Virginia. I'm going to have a blast. Like, I'm looking forward. It's on a Sunday, but it's October 10th at the Roanoke Comedy Club. And not the comedy club, comedy festival. And I'll get a link up on, if you Google it, I'm sure there's a link and an Eventbrite. I know the cat that's running it, and he's very sharp. And it's kind of coming together, but I know he's been kind of diligent, but yet slow because of COVID. But I think, things, I've been hearing numbers are dipping, and it feels like people are back. But I had to move my car this morning. I almost got run over by a semi. That's the real deal, man. I think everybody's out and about in New York right now. Everybody's out and about. I'm masking up. That's where I'm at, man. I'm vaxxed up and I'm masked up, and I just want to keep it moving. But I actually don't even want to talk about any of that. I don't even want to talk about politics. I just want to talk about chopping cilantro. I do have some great CBD oil. This is I've been doing this. I haven't been smoking that herb. That's why I think I'm a little jumpy on this podcast. And this is the last of this Infinity coffee, of a French press of this Infinity coffee. And I think the shit is really strong. It's their breakfast blend. It's from Brooklyn. They're not fucking around. It's a grocery store. They're gonna get you jacked up. Yeah, so I feel a little jacked, but I think it may be from almost dying this morning. Man, yeah, I was making a turn. I wasn't making a turn. A semi truck was making a turn, and like the underneath of the semi truck was under my hood, and the wheel was like coming right at me, and I just fucking hammered the horn like crazy, and the dude stopped. And then I had to weave around, and it was like a light. It was the weirdest. I was wigged out, man, wigged out. And I had to take a pee. I say it was brutal, but it wasn't that brutal. It was just moving your car in the morning. I mean, everybody's going through it. That's where I am with meditation. But I came back and I meditated for 10 minutes, and it felt so good. Because I just if you come back and start hammering on your phone or jumping on the internet or doing a creative process, your body and mind just aren't in that space, bruh. That's some good iced coffee. So then I meditated for 10 minutes and just, focused on my breath. Let the thoughts flow. But I haven't been smoking mad herb at night. So I have been having some dreams, which has been crazy. I've been trying to write them down, but maybe I'll share them down the line. But I wanted to say, rest in peace, Norm McDonald, man. That hit me. I think that hit, I don't know, it feels like that hit the world, but I do comedy. So it definitely hit my world. I just want to say he was brilliant and amazing and creative. I never met him. I never performed with him, but I did see him in a hallway at Caroline's, and it wigged me out because he was an upper tier. That's what's so weird about it. Like all those SNL guys that do stand up are kind of like upper tier to me because, you know, you see them in the clubs, they always sell out. So it has another extra level of it to me, and my reverence towards him. Like on SNL, I guess I really wasn't watching SNL when he was on, but I remember it and I kind of liked it. But it wasn't until I got into stand up that I mean, I thought it was funny, but I guess he wasn't my dude, I would say. As SNL, my SNL dudes are John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, and who else? Eddie Murphy. You know, that's where I'm like, ah, shit. Like I've been rolling on the ground laughing. But now that I'm a stand-up, his set on Letterman, that one about Germany, even the first time I even saw that, I was like, oh my God, that might be the best stand-up bit of all time. Like literally, like wow. Like that's the beauty. I love jokes that are right in front of you and nobody grabs them, but he grabbed it. And I think that's the ticket, man, as John Lovitz used to say. I went through a Lovitz phase. I like John Lovitz. I like Martin Short. I love Ed Grimley. I like wacky, funky, weird comedy. Steve Martin, that's my tone. But Norm did have that. But then he also had like a hardcore stand up. I don't know if he was like a hardcore stand up. He dicked around with it, but he was so heavyweight with stand up. Like he opened for Sam Kinison. And like, yeah, his TV sets were legendary and his jokes were legendary. But he was like a sports gambling dude. And I'm not into sports and I'm not into gambling. But I do know people that worked with him on the road and he was a nice dude. And but yeah, you never knew which way he was going to turn. Like I think that whole thing, his essence, like had to be super respected because you never knew which way the ball, you know, it's like he's throwing the pitch. You never knew how the ball was going to dip. And I love how he handled the roast. I knew he was a God-fearing man and kind, kind of, but also flawed, like a lot of, you know, comedians, like everybody. So yeah, I don't want to go super deep on it, but, and then I almost got run over by a semi and he's kind of near my age. Like I'm getting up there, guys. Oh shit. That's why I have two fucking water bottles. I've run on coffee, herb, peanut butter, granola bars, tacos, and water. And I have a Nalgene bottle. I use a Nalgene bottle, and then I have another one, tap water, and a lot of seltzer, tap, herb, CBD tincture. So I've been taking this tincture, and it's for focus. This is good stuff. You just take a little bit, you just take a thing and you put it under your tongue. I actually like the taste. This is a good brand. Head and Heel Focus. I'm about to get super focused on you motherfuckers. I've been listening to a lot of this today. I was in the car. I do listen to tunes. I love my Spotify in the car. I like the future. I love this podcast. Please like and subscribe, dude. Get up in there. Like it up. Well, that sounded kind of weird and sexual. I would say I respect you. If you're listening to this, I'm not really getting paid for this yet. No, I have to say my Patreons did help me with some herb the other day. So it's starting to come around, So sign up for the Patreon, like and subscribe if you can. If you don't have any money, just like and subscribe. If you have some dough, if you're rolling in it and killing it and doing mad bong hits right now, listening to this, definitely sign up for the Patreon and you get me on video. And we're going to do short films and movies, and we're going to put out some beats. I've been doing music videos. I got all kinds of crazy content coming down, but I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. And right now we're doing the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I got a fat glass, my final glass, the darkest iced coffee, pure lava, in the best possible way. Oh, lots of ice. Love it. Love it. And I love you. I love you for listening to this podcast. And I'm staring at my plants. My plant game is crazy. It's not, I don't have any weed plants of yet. It's not legal in New York. One day, it could be very soon. I could figure it out here, but it's New York and it's crazy and I'm making moves and comedy moves. And, I got to concentrate on a couple of things. So, tending a massive garden. I wouldn't need a massive garden. I just need a plant, but house plants are about it. Because I know the cannabis thing, you got to be a little bit strategic and figure that out with neighbors and stuff like that and light. And we're coming into the colder months, and it bums me out. I love summer. I love the sun. Shout out to Shawnee Slices. Shout out. Yeah, I got to go out to Rockaway Beach and had another pizza and worked on some film work. So get ready for some short films soon. I was out there. I love Rockaway Beach in New York. And I love the Ramones song. That's a great song. That's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about music. I guess the shit I am listening to right now was this morning. What was the tune that I was just like, it got me out of the funk after I got run over, but I almost got run over by a semi. It was I do listen to a lot of rap, but what was that tune? Well, I've been listening to a lot of Talking Heads, actually. Burning Down the House. That's like a basic one, but I've been into that and just listening to his lyrics. He is out there, a lot more out there than I thought. And I've been lots of Bob Marley, this Peter Tosh joint I was listening to, and then there's a Bob Marley Peter Tosh thing on Spotify, that Second Class Woman, but it's all Peter Tosh. It's the beat is amazing, but it's a good tune. Check out that tune. But then there was another one they were doing. It's like this weird reggae one that I had. But then I've been listening to a lot of Stick Figure. Like I like that as new music. A couple tunes from the Bronx as rocks music. Billy Strings, a lot of Billy Strings. It's like a jam band, banjo joint. But hip hop, Poor Righteous Teachers is one of the joints I've been pumping, or the groups. Oh, and the Lost Boys Renee, I did request that on. That was like a romantic hip hop song of the 90s. And it's about this meeting this, oh man, it's a good tune. I was just trying to think of that's the only thing. I'm not into violence, man. I don't want to hear about guns, or maybe I'm just getting older, but I'm not down. A lot of the hip hop just has a lot of violence into it. That's why I loved about Public Enemy wasn't like full on, but it also had some balls to it, like I'm not, sometimes you got to stand up for, world is real out there and all that shit. But at the same time, I don't think violence should be celebrated or anything like that. I don't know where I'm going with that. I was trying to think of some music, and then I was kind of blanking out. But I have been pumping a lot of stick figure, and also been spitting some rhymes. I've been rapping. I've been doing this music project. I know I've been talking about this music project, and that's why I'm kind of excited, because I've completed a couple of things. I'm getting closer, and I'll be releasing it soon. But I've been booking gigs. I should be up in like the Berkshire Mountains. I'm doing this gig at the barn in December. I'll give you the details of that. That will be coming out soon. But right now I'm going to try some of this cannabis. I believe I had some of this earlier, and it feels, if you could hear the way I'm talking, I do think this is definitely some sativa because it hits really hard, and I start talking a lot. But it's been a while, and I try not to talk a lot. I try to save it just for this hour and talk to people and figure out my problems and figure out the day and figure out my next step. And, oh, did my knee tweak out weird there, or I've been doing my stretches. I do these 5 Tibetan rites. It's been over a year now, and I wake up, I do that, and then I meditate for 20 minutes. Today I had to cut it short because I didn't charge up my phone and my timer ran out. So then when I got back from parking the car, I did another 10 minutes. So I think I did 10 minutes way early in the morning, and then 10 minutes a little bit later. And then I started preparing for this podcast, the Cannabis Coffee Hour. Yeah, it feels like the world is opening up. I can't wait to get out to concerts. There's so much tension in politics of all this stuff. And man, I really want the love. Like, I really want to go towards the love. I want to keep my heart open and live in the moment. And the news and stuff just drags you out of that and gets you into some weird anger zones. So you just lately, I've just been really mindful of the media that I'm taking in. And like I actually been meditating right before I go to bed and wearing my mouth guard, and I have scope and act. I've been doing both of those, man. I've been doing scope and act, and I've been auditioning. I got it down because you can do it via video, and I have a good setup. I'm getting better at filming because of this podcast. And because I dig it. I love doing this podcast. I love my life. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I do love my life. I do love doing this podcast. I do like making this funky music. I do like performing. I'm performing tonight in Manhattan at this place called the Secret Loft. It's not a secret now, but it's a 10:30 show. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to get this up soon. If you want to creep out, if you're in Manhattan for some odd reason, but I know the numbers are everywhere, and I appreciate everybody listening. Been trying to tune in. I've been looking at my plant, but I've been trying to tune into nature, like tune into like plants and animals, because we are a part of that. Human beings are a part of that. That's why I think we get drawn away from with the so much drama in the LBC type shit. Oh man, that is some good coffee. Back up off me. We're ready to do a show. But cannabis is getting legal, and so are naps. I took a nap yesterday. Because I think been getting excited about performing, so I'm performing tonight, but I haven't been out a ton, so my body isn't, regulated. I'm still like, even though I'm meditating and stretching, but I've aged 2 years. Norm McDonald died. Shit's going down, man. So get out there and see me if I have a date up on the show, a date on my calendar. Not to make it about me. It's not about me. It's about all of us. And I just want, want to say I'm appreciative of all of it. Um, appreciative. I still got my hair. I have to say, I'm trying not to be vain, but I don't want to talk about it because then maybe it'll fall out. A lot of it's just like looking away or just trying to be in the moment. But it does snap you back into reality when people pass away. So I just wanted to give my most respects to a great comic mind and comedian legend, Norm McDonald. Salute, salute, salute. Um, as we move on into the future, that's what I've been thinking about is like, it is scary, but not scary. That's the cool thing about getting older is like, you get used to that shit. And you got, you life will give you a leather skin, but right now I'm like trying to be a little bit more gentle and more kind and more gentle and kind to myself. And then I'm trying to be more gentle. And I'm just trying to be more gentle, more kind, and not talk that much and listen like, oh, did my knee go wrong there? Or, oh shit, I gotta take a nap. Or, hey, I can make this person feel good by saying something nice. Or I shouldn't have that judgment of that person if I'm walking by. Like, it's like, you know, letting the moon kind of like zoom in on you a little bit. Like a being an observer, I guess that's what I was trying to say, is like that beginner mind. But I don't want to talk about Zen Buddhism the whole time because I fuck up and but most of it's like looking at your own bullshit and then moving on. And I think people are getting there. The thing about, there is like this weird like transition, I guess. Like if things happen over and over again, eventually either you learn to move on or you can just fucking, live that cycle. And moving on and moving up and onward and out of this funky ass COVID. I'm vaxxed up. I'm wearing my mask. I'm taking CBD oil and vitamins, but I forgot my vitamins last night. But that's that idea of perfectionism or that idea of perfect life or that even idea of perfect, like really, it's just not even there. It is what it is. And now is what's now is. Um, I can't wait to go surfing. I want to go surfing. I want to snowboard, but I want to stretch beforehand and a good walk. I'm thinking about hiking the Appalachian Trail when I go to Roanoke. So that's what I'm kind of psyched up. That would be kind of sweet. I need to do that. I need to plan that. Um, maybe camp out. That might be dope. Um, check out the mountains of Virginia. Time to go back. Maybe I'll plant a weed. Yeah, they say it's legalized. So we'll see what that's all about. That would trip me out because it felt like the 1950s when I lived there in the 80s, in 90s. But DC, that whole area has changed too. I was thinking of the concept of never going home. As much as I grew up in those places, it's not the same, especially now after COVID and internet and Starbucks. But everything's the same anyway. The earth is the same. That land is the same. Those mountains, those people, everybody's the same. We're all a part of the nature of it all. I'm excited. I'm going back into the studio. I'm making more music. Like I had a great time playing guitar the other week. I need to practice a little bit more. This acoustic, it's been I just been, but I also have some writing things that I got to do. Just got to slow down and do them all. And actually not even freak out, just do them for the love of doing them. That's kind of the ticket. That is the gig. I got that, but I'm not gigging that much. Like I'm also living life and taking it one step at a time. Sweet Jesus, or sweet Buddha, or sweet Yahweh, or sweet whatever. Just sweet sugar. Uh, Sugar's all right, but what about salt? Salt's good too. Pepper, dude. If you know how to cook, okay, if you want to know how to cook, because I gotta say, I mean, I was never the best athlete, not the best student. I'm pretty good at stand-up comedy, and I'm pretty good at cooking. And I could cook. And one of the things you need to be a good cook is good pepper. Cracked pepper, and cracked salt is and sea salt. That's half the game right there. That's half the game. It's the same thing with filmmaking. Filmmaking is, I would say, the guy that gave me the most knowledge is Adam Dubin, who is on this podcast. He's a director, comedian, amazing cat. Lives in Brooklyn. I hang out with him. Shout out Adam Dubin. But he told me early on, because I invited him out to coffee. I took him out to coffee, I think. I may even got the meal. I don't know. But I was broke. But I asked him out and asked him about filmmaking. And he said light and sound. If you got light and sound, even if you have a bad camera, if you have good light and good sound, if it has bad sound, it's fucked. And if it has bad light, you're fighting a battle. I think I have good light and good sound. I'm using a better mic than last week. I kind of flipped back to a different mic when I did it with Victor and his Victor Vernato. Shout out Victor Vernato. I'm doing some projects with him. That was an amazing podcast. He was too cool. That guy's made movies and been in movies with Eddie Murphy and shit. He's always doing stuff, and he's amazing. And to take time to zoom it up on the podcast was amazing. So I want to say shout out to Victor Vernato and listen to that podcast. He's a director. Because I definitely want to direct films one day. I think a lot of comedians do. It's a good gig. They pay you well, I think. And you get to call the show. It's a lot of stress. Like, I just knew I wanted to do it. I went into the corporate world. I didn't start doing stand-up till I was like 27. I did sales, and I just knew in my heart and my soul that I was a creative person. That I was like, I wanted, and that's what I'm doing now. And even though, the money's whatever, and we're in the middle of zombie apocalypse, I'm having the time of my life. And I've looked at what I've done, and I'm like, oh shit, I've done a lot of cool shit. And I'm just appreciative of all the comedians, all the trials, all the tribulations, all the dicks, not the dicks, but all the bad parts. Like all of it. I appreciate all of it, because you got to rise above, figure it out, move ahead, keep it moving. It's made me who I am right now, and I love it. I got a nice podcast. We got over like 15,000 downloads. That's when people download things. Like, I don't download that much shit. Like, I don't even think that's the real numbers. So people are listening to it, but it's weird. I haven't done like shows on the road or been out there. I just been doing this podcast like over a year, kind of turtling it up like a turtle. Periscope down. I was thinking about the app Periscope. Do people even do that anymore? I don't do IG live, but follow my Instagram. I do it sometimes. I don't want to turn you off, because I do know it's fun, and I watch people's other shit. Like, it's a different world out there, IG live. Yeah. Hit me up at Rob88 Cantrell. That's my IG. Because that's where I'm going to drop some music videos, some new content, some stand up, some more coffee. But the Cannabis Coffee Hour has an Instagram. Hit that up. But I got to take some of that shit off my phone. My thumb started hurting. I was scrolling too much. I wasn't trolling. I was scrolling. Yeah, I got to get some of that shit. I just need to heal. Too much social media. Like, yeah, I'm still on the fence with social media. I know it's a part of the gig, but you really got to distance yourself from it, especially if you want to connect with nature. But I think everybody is, I think maybe the technology will give us the freedom to move about even, more independent, more free. I was thinking, like, is there any more like sleepy surf towns in America that's not Florida? I don't hate Florida. I've only been there a couple times. But the last time was great. I performed with Tracy Morgan. We flew down there. And then I've been to Disneyland or Disney World, one of those down there. But I would love to live like on the beach lifestyle one day, like a lazy beach, not a place where there's semi trucks trying to run you over, but a lazy beach. I like a beach cruiser. I always loved a beach cruiser. They are the chillest. Electric beach cruisers, are those out there? You know they're out there. There's like electric pogo sticks. There's electric surfboards. They have longboards. I mean, I guess I would dig an electric longboard. Like, I think I could maybe do that safely in a parking lot with knee pads and elbow pads, and a helmet, big, fat, the nerdiest helmet you could ever see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start longboarding, but I'm just gonna wear just fucking the most nerdiest fucking pads, the biggest helmet, like helmet just like 5 times my head, dude, and just fucking serious knee pads. And then I'm not even gonna have shoes. They're gonna be snowboard boots, and I'm just gonna be fucking locked in there. And then I'm gonna have a remote control. And then I'm going to have a Gatorade bottle connected to my mouth. And I'm going to be shooting around the parking lot like. All right, everybody. Enjoy the week. I had a blast talking to you. I love you. Peace. Ride that electric longboard all the way home.